What's up, everybody? This is your cosmic homegirl, and I am doing a video on solar return charts once again by request. Thank you to those who watched my last solar return video either last year or the year before, and to those who have messaged me or commented anything to do with requesting another solar return chart. So I wanted to show you guys the drama of it all with my last solar year, meaning one birthday to the next. For those who don't know what a solar return chart is, basically it is from whatever your birthday is, from that day until your next birthday the next year. Whatever's happening in the sky as far as the planetary activity and the celestial events are is frozen and stamped into your whole entire solar year from one birthday to the next. So it tells a lot to pull up the chart that marks that day, that time, about what your next year is going to be like. Basically, you embody the energy of your solar return chart for the year. You have a lot of life lessons and a lot of themes that come up that are based on this solar return chart. Now, I also had an astro homie of mine inbox me and ask, do I look at just the day of just your birthday and just that chart for the day, or what do I base it on? Well, I use astro.com or AstroDienst as it's like called, as well. And it goes by you see your sun is not just like your sun sign and that's it. You got to look at the degrees. So my sun is at 1040 of Taurus, right? So the moment that the sun went in at 1040 exactly of Taurus, at the point in longitude and latitude, aka the location I was at that time, which where I was at, it was 12:24 p.m. On my actual birthday of 2021. At 10, when the sun hit 1040 of Taurus, then you cast the chart based on that, right? At that moment in time. So that marks your solar year. Okay. So, I already told you guys the last solar return video, what happened, and I use this as a teaching tool. I'm not just here like it's all about me, everybody, but like, no, seriously, I use this stuff as a teaching tool to show everybody by just telling at least a little bit about my personal experiences, because I like to explain astrology from a standpoint of how the chart feels, how the energy feels, how the transits feel, how everything feels, and how it affects you day to day in regular human life. Because you can read a lot of information and data all you want, and it can tell you all the astrological scientifical facts, it can tell you all of that, but like, how does the shit feel, man? You know what I'm saying? How did it play out when you were living day to day as a human being? So that's what I'm here to explain. And I'm recording this during Mercury retro / shadow period. So hopefully nothing stupid happens with technology or sound or anything like that. I'm just warning you guys in advance, okay? Before we really dive in. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in. So from 2021 until my birthday in 2022, I was a Leo rising. Okay. And I had a 10th house stellium. A stellium is, a group of planets that are within one house or one sign, all like sandwiched together, mostly in Taurus. All right. And then I had a Capricorn moon right here. I had a Cap moon in the 5th house. Actually, I got the location wrong. I'm not showing you guys the location, but the city that I was in, things shifted a little bit as far as Saturn. Saturn shifted into the 7th house. That's really the only difference. Everything else is pretty much the same, I believe. So anyhow, this was my solar return chart, okay, for the year starting 2021. So what you want to look at first with the solar return chart, you want to look at the rising sign. This is how you're going to be really presenting yourself to the world, or how the world is going to, or like, when you're walking around day to day, minding your own business, the energy that you're going to be unconsciously, subconsciously projecting out there is going to be the rising sign. Okay, so I was giving off hella Leo vibes. Hand on the hip, stomping the high heel shoe. You know what I'm saying? Demanding what I deserve. Leo energy, Leo is one of the signs that could be major Karens. Okay, I don't care what gender you label yourself as. Leos could be some Karen okay? Because they know what they deserve and they deserve the best. So I was embodying a lot of Leo energy, okay? And also, you see the position of the moon here. It's in the 5th house. Well, Leo is the 5th sign of the zodiac. So if you have something in the 5th house, it's the Leo container. It's the Leo stage, and the planet is the actor. The planet is vibrating the energy of whatever sign it's in, but also the house that it's in is another layer to it. So my moon, which is my emotional needs and wants and stuff, was in the 5th house. Now I'm a natal 5th house moon. In my birth chart, my moon is in Pisces in the 5th, but it's Pisces, you know what I'm saying? But this time it was Capricorn. Okay, a Cap moon in the 5th. And I had a stellium of planets in the 10th house. Now, Capricorn is the 10th sign of the zodiac, right? So the 10th house, once again, it's like the Capricorn house, stage, container, whatever. So all these planets were hella Taurus, but also acting very Capricorn. Now, Capricorn energy can also be very Karen, okay? Very Karen-ish, Karen-like. Demanding what you deserve. You deserve the best. You see how the 10th house is the top of the chart? And in the regular zodiac wheel, Capricorn is at the top of the chart. It's all about making it to the top. 10th house and Capricorn also rule the corporate world. They rule like the military. They rule being just militant in nature, taking charge, the government, stuff like that, right? So as you can see, there's repeated themes here in this solar return chart. Leo, 5th house, Capricorn, 10th house. You see? So I'm going to say this. I definitely put up a lot more boundaries last year because Capricorn, 10th house, and Saturn, which actually this will be counted in the 7th house. Like I said, Mercury retro snafu. I don't want to go back and re-record this shit, but yeah, where I was at, it actually landed in the 7th house. So, 7th house is the house of others. Okay, it could be relationships, it could be dating, it could be marriage and all that stuff. But yeah, no, it's just other people. Okay, I put up a lot of boundaries last year. And especially when it came to dating, because see, dating is the 5th house. Having fun, dating, romance, 5th house. 7th house is being booed up as well, or dating and talking to people, getting to know each other, exchanging with others is the 7th house. That could be romantically as well. So with a Cap moon in the 5th and Saturn in the 7th house, my dating life, let me just say it was dry. Super fucking dry. Because I put up a lot of blocks and boundaries as Saturn, Cap, and 10th house energies all do. Extreme boundaries. No, you don't have what I want. You don't have what I need. You don't meet my standards. So therefore, peace. You know what I'm saying? Or you're blocked. I don't really like to block people. I don't like drama. I've had the same phone number for fucking 20 years of my life. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like drama like that. But I had to block a few people. Men, I guess. I had to block them or just put up extreme boundaries that scared them off. Period, point blank. So, yeah, I mean, I had zero dating life. I don't even think I had like zero dating life pretty much. Of course I got approached because Jupiter is here in the 7th house, and Jupiter is a bringer of abundance, an abundance of things, a wealth of things. And I did have, trickling in here and there, like, yeah, dudes hitting on me, talking to me. Some of them approached me the right way, what I consider the right way, which is with the right type of conversation and words, not making it sexual or being a perv or just commenting on my body and then asking me for my Instagram or Snapchat or any of that shit. Like, they approached me the right way, which was talking to me with a real conversation and then saying they'd like to get to know me or take me out or something like that. And if they could get in touch with me, some of them did try to ask me for social media, and I gave them the fucking side eye, because those who follow me, especially on Instagram, you guys know I don't play that shit. I don't do the, oh, follow me on social media so you could stare at me and pictures of me and perv out on them all the time and never say a word and just stay silent and never talk to me. And then pop up months later trying to say, WYD, pull up and just and bring that ass. And you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, because that did try to happen, but I had to block those situations and tell them what's up. Like, no, I'm not the one. I'm sorry. And you don't meet my standards. Saturn, Capricorn, 10th house. If you don't want to communicate with me on a regular basis as a regular human being and as a woman, right? So it was a year of being a boss. Leo's boss energy, 5th house is boss energy, and so is all the Capricorn, Saturn, 10th house of it all. Boss energy, okay? So, yeah, I put up a lot of boundaries. I knew what I wanted and what I didn't want. It took me a minute to ease into that, to be honest, because I think the last solar return I had, I was a Leo moon, but it was in the 4th house. And so I was like super sensitive, you know what I'm saying? Very sensitive, and just coming into that sense of self, of like that Leo rules, like Leo and 5th house rule being very confident within yourself. So I had to learn a lot of lessons to gain more of that confidence. And then the next solar year, I was granted a Leo rising and a 5th house moon, but a lot of that strong Saturnian energy to say, hey, you know what? Now that I know who and what I am and what I'm worth and things like that, I'm going to put up the proper boundaries to block out people who don't recognize that, whether it's with jobs, whether it's with relationships, friendships, who or whatever. I'm not letting anybody get away with anything, right? So that was that type of an energy. So yeah, zero dating life. It was pretty much non-existent. I had to even tell someone that I really cared about, admired, adored very much. I had to tell them what's up. I had to tell them about themselves and what I will not put up with from them. And in a way, it kind of ripped me apart a little bit, just a little bit, to do that. But at the same time, I was like, yo, like, I'm just not about the bullshit anymore, man. Like, you know what I mean? I just have to let that be known to everyone who wants to try to be in my world. So that energy I was definitely embodying. Now check this out. Also, you see, I don't have my natal chart up, for privacy reasons. I'm a Scorpio rising, so you know how we roll. But you have to look at the ascendant sign and where it lands in your natal chart. Okay, of your solar return, look at the solar return ascendant and where it lands in your natal chart. So not only did I have all this 10th house energy, Capricorn and all that, but my natal chart, my MC, or the top of the chart, the 10th house, it starts at 22 of Leo. So 16 degrees of Leo, 22 degrees of Leo, fairly close. So that means another theme that you're embodying is the house in your natal chart in which the ascendant of your solar return chart is located. Those themes are brought to the forefront of your life. So once again, it was putting up boundaries and knowing what I deserve and only wanting the best and leveling up. Leveling up is also, Leo energy can be about leveling up because Leo is ruled by the sun, even though it's the 5th house. The 10th house is when the sun is at the very top of the sky, right? In the middle of the sky, in the middle of the day. Hence, look at the time was noon when my solar return chart was stamped and marked. And you see where the sun is at? Exactly on the MC. Okay, so around 12 noon, depending upon where you live, of course, but I'm in the Western world, in the Western Northern hemisphere and everything. And 12 noon is generally when the sun is at the top of the sky. That's when the sun is the most seen. Okay, so that is someone really wanting to reach the top, wanting to be the ultimate in whatever it is that they do. And this realm rules the corporate world, right? So I had the sun on the MC of the solar return, and the solar return ascendant was the sign of my natal MC or midheaven or 10th house. Okay. So it's like that, like double, triple Capricorn, quadruple Capricorn type of a vibe that I was like really within. So I will tell you guys this. After putting my middle finger up to the corporate world for like, I don't know, I think like 5 years or something like that. I did actually go back. Yeah, it was like 5 years. I went back. I got a corporate job, and it was random and out of the blue. Because check this out. You see, the sun is with Uranus. You see, they're only 1 minute apart, not 1 degree, 1 minute. They were exact together on the midheaven. The midheaven is career. The sun can rule your career and your identity and all that stuff. And then Uranus brings sudden, unexpected changes, transformation that is unexpected and out of the blue and random. You just randomly decide to change things, to switch things up. That's Uranus. So I was working freelance work. And then I stumbled upon, through that freelance work, an opportunity to go back to corporate. But the corporate world has changed now with Uranus and Taurus, and then Pluto and Capricorn, just in general. Maybe I'll do another video explaining all of that stuff to you guys another time. But, the earth signs rule our workforce. Okay. So there's transformational planets in the workforce signs. Overall, in general, for us as humans right now, Pluto and Cap, Uranus and Taurus. So the corporate world has changed. There's a little bit more freedom, which is Uranus, right? When it comes to jobs, work, the way we make money, which is Taurus, rules part of that. So I switched around a lot, the type of work that I did. And then I ended up switching into corporate work, but with a lot more freedom. And I still did hella other like side gigs, freelance gigs and stuff, to where you choose your own schedule. Uranus rules that, choosing your own schedule, having freedom. Okay. So I made that crazy switch. I didn't even plan that out. I didn't expect it. But Uranus, he laughs at the word plan. He laughs at your plans. You guys know that. He throws lightning bolts at them and laughs as they are destroyed by said lightning bolts. So my plans were to, I'm just going to freelance and, F the system and this and that. But then the corporate world came calling me, and I was like, okay. And also, I switched it up because I wanted better. I wanted to level up. I wanted to level up in life. And Capricorn and 10th house energies and Saturn energies also rule looking good on paper, right? Looking good on paper, having recognition for who you are and what you do, and it being the utmost, the top notch, like having a stellar resume or stellar credit, or some sort of accolades and certificates of recognition for your skills and your talents. Stuff like that is all that Saturnian energy. So I was on a quest for that. It was crazy because I was doing like side gig work, freelance work and everything, and I was over here kicking ass at everything. Every job loved me. And that's something I'm not used to, because in my natal chart, I have Mars in the 6th. Motherfuckers do not like you at your jobs when you have Mars in the 6th. Mars rules conflict. The 6th house is the work environment. You're always on the radar. I've literally been told at a couple of different jobs throughout my life that I'm on the radar. Those like verbatim like words. I'm on the radar. Why? I'm just here doing my job, minding my business. Like what the But, you're on my radar. Oh, how come you don't? Like you're nitpicked at, when you have Mars in the 6th. If anybody else has Mars in the 6th in their natal chart, just like, oh my gosh, just drop a comment, like to kind of prove my point. So I hardly ever have jobs that love me unless it's something that's Neptunian, because I have Neptune in the 2nd house of money making. If it's Neptunian, like something creative, they're always going to love me. But if it's other like corporate work or something, traditional work, service work, motherfuckers are always going to hate me. And just for no reason, I'm going to be on the radar. So it was odd for jobs to love me. I mean, love me. I did some temp service work, And they were like, who's this girl? Like, does she work for us? Or is she just, Lord have mercy. Tomorrow. Just, oh my God. Okay, just ignore this thing. I'm just not gonna edit this and do this. But anyway, welcome to Mercury retrograde, you guys. But yeah, they were just like, so do you work for an agency or do you work for us? And one company, I did actually work for them because I always have 15 jobs. Hey, Mon, if you know where that's from, shout it out. But I was like, no, I work for you guys. And they were so happy and praising me all the time. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Because of the solar return energy I was in. You know what I'm saying? Capricorn is about doing the most at your job, but not like doing the most like the way that you diss people, like, oh, you're doing the most, like you're doing too much, like in a bad way. But Capricorn and 10th house energies really want to succeed, so they'll do whatever it takes. Now, I wasn't about being a total ass kisser, but I was about like, hey, how can I climb up more? You know what I'm saying? Like, who can I talk to? Who can I get in good with, but not like in a fake way. I still have too much Taurus energy to be fake like that. But I was like, yo, who can I, get to know for real, who's in charge or on top or something. How can I make an impression? The 10th house and Capricorn are about making a good impression. So I was all about that at any job, even the little rinky dink ones. And I was kicking ass and everybody wanted me. I was in high demand. Like, I had so many jobs. My schedule was filled every single day with work. That's another reason why I wasn't really doing anything with my business for that whole entire year, because regular work just took over. And I had to do that also to rebuild. Capricorn, Saturn, 10th house energy is about building, restructuring your life, your world, and finding any holes in the foundation and making sure that they are filled in, or if you have to tear the whole motherfucker down, redo your whole life and restructure it and build it to where it is more sturdy, then you'll do it. So that's what I was all about, basically. And I'm like, you know what? I want better for me. I want better for me and my kids. Like, I want to live the good life. Capricorn energy and Leo energies are both about living the good life. So you will level up if you have those energies in your solar return chart. I'm talking about even down to like products and little things that you use, around your household. Even like, oh, you're going to switch brands to the more bougier brand of things. Even if it's something as simple as like your toothpaste that you use, some sort of toiletries. You know what I'm saying? You're not, or your cosmetic products, stuff like that. You won't want mediocre when you're under energy like this. If you have hella Leo and or Capricorn in your solar return, just know that, okay? Now, also remember, I told you guys I was Karen of the motherfucking, my Karen wig was on tight, you guys, on tight this last solar return. OMG. So you see, I think where my solar return really is, the south node was like right here on the cusp or something of the 4th and 5th, but I had 4th house problems like a mother. Like, in my natal transit, Saturn is transiting my 4th house. Okay, Saturn, he could be the asshole, but he's an asshole for a good reason, and you have to figure out what that reason is, and his teachable moments and lessons of like shitty times and like why they're happening on a deeper level. Like, what can you learn from them and how can you be a better person from them in whatever area of life, aka your chart, Saturn is transiting through. You have to think of things that way, because he's gonna make shit so damn difficult for you wherever he transits. I'm not bullshitting you, okay? So I have Saturn in the 4th, still do, right? So my place of living, Lord have mercy. I don't even know where to begin with what problems I had there. So I had to be such a Karen, you guys. I had to take photos that were time, date, and address stamped of every single issue where I lived, okay? So I had to always make maintenance requests and write long ass dissertations within them, like super Karen like you people are disrupting my life and my business. That's also why I didn't do anything with my business in the last year, because I didn't have a place of peace and solitude and serenity enough to like sit and do my astrological work. Because I don't just read the symbols and the definitions of them. I also channel things when I'm reading for other people as an intuitive astrologer. Okay. So I can't really get down like that if I don't have a peaceful place. There was always something wrong where I lived. There was always some kind of fucking noise, part of my Francois, but like, oh my, it was like something wrong every single day. I live on the west coast of the US, okay? And it gets really hot in places on the west coast, and also the southern US, you guys know, like it gets really really hot and humid in some places too, right? So it's crucial that we have air conditioning in this neck of the woods of the world. So I had no AC for months, the whole entire summer. I had to harass these people about my air conditioning. I had to be a Karen about that. I had to be a Karen about like so many. I had no heat during the winter. I had no hot water during the winter. It was like I lived in a damn third world country in that little spot I was at. So there was never any peace. So I was like, well, fuck it. I might as well just never be home by working. I was always working. All the 10th house, the Taurus, the Capricorn. I was always just working, never home, just making money, stacking it up. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of problems with where I lived. So I had to put that Karen wig on, you guys, and I had to go to court and all this stuff. Like I had to be a Karen in court. I was all dressed up and shit. You know what I mean? Like wearing like Tom Ford perfume. Oh my God. That's so 10th house at Capricorn right there, in court, and really presenting my case to the judge and representing myself. Like, yo, it was crazy. And that's another thing with 7th house energy, you guys. 7th house can be lawsuits and court cases. It can be. So you know what I'm saying? Like I had still a few of those to deal with. So yeah, I had to really be a Karen about a lot of things. But you want to know the cool part about having all the Capricorn and Leo energy is I started taking myself out on dates to really nice places because I worked so hard. You see, Capricorn energy, and any Capricorns who are natal Capricorns or listening can vouch for this. You guys know that Capricorn energy, they work hard and play hard. They may not play hard like Sages do, or other signs just go woo and get sloppy drunk and like YOLO and all this dumb shit. Like Capricorns don't get down like that. They work hard, but they go and enjoy the fruits of their labor, maybe in a more subtle way. So what I would do is I would work my ass off. I might even have worked 2 or 3 different jobs and or side gigs in one day. Then when the day was over, the work day was over, I would take myself out. I would go home, of course, shower, dress up really nice, take myself out on a really nice date to a different place that I had discovered, and to somewhere snazzy, you know what I mean? And I would just try out at least one drink and one dish there. And it had to be somewhere with like a good ambiance, somewhere kind of upscale. So I started doing that. I started hanging out more in upscale areas, even just to go shopping, even just to go to motherfucking Walmart, you guys. Like I had to go to the more upscale Walmart or Target, so that's it's super bougie energy, but I was loving it. I was basking in it, because also this type of energy, Leo can do this, and Cap and 10th house energy can do this too, to where you step out. If you're someone especially who grew up with more of like a poverty mindset, whether it was instilled within you or there's placements in your natal chart that make you more susceptible to have that mindset, like Virgo or 6th house energy, for example. I'm a 6th houser. We tend to be in our hamster wheel. We tend to try to be the most frugal and cheap as we can with everything. and everything is about efficiency. You know what I'm saying? It's not really about just enjoying life to the fullest. And you're more, like I said, more susceptible to have a poverty mindset. Okay. So it really helped me to step even further away from that than I've already been doing for the last like several years, even further away from the poverty mindset, to have this energy. And like, oh well, the nice areas of town, and you know they're all for rich people and that's it. And oh my gosh, just like talking mad stuff about like rich people who are wealthy, and oh, they're all probably snotty and uppity. A lot can be very entitled and uppity and judgmental, of course, yes, but not everybody who's wealthy is. You can't be thinking about people who have some sort of wealth in that way. Like everybody's like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that puts you into that mindset where that you separate yourself from wealth in your mind. Okay. So this helped me to step out of that even further and hang out in these places, go shopping at these places, do regular shit at more upscale places, and just say, you know what, this is for me. This is for me. I'm no different than any of these people who are walking around over here. No different from them. So that's the kind of mindset that, and guys, your solar return, once you get into a new one, meaning your next birthday comes around and you embody a totally different solar return chart, you should do what you can to keep the imprint of what you learned and what you embodied from the previous ones. Keep them with you. This is why I love astrology, because it brings a self-awareness like this, and then you can like walk with, sorry, hold on. Oh, somebody's car alarm. Anyway, oh my God, Mercury's in Gemini. It's so annoying. All the noise and all the allergies, and oh my God, Mercury and Gemini. Anyway, so yeah, you should keep what you learned, and what you experienced, good and bad, with you throughout the next years of your life. It's great to reflect and look back on your solar return and see all of those things, and then keep them in mind, keep them in the back of your mind. So basically, what else can I tell you guys about this solar return? That's mostly what it is, you guys. I didn't have a lot of crazy drama happen or anything like that. The most drama, like I said, was with my place of living, because I had Saturn and Jupiter in my 4th house, and Lord, it was like the center focus of my life. But yeah, like I did go out and have fun, but like I said, it was Capricorn fun. It wasn't like wild, woo, it was not that type of fun. Dating life was whack, you know what I'm saying? But career was popping, super popping. So anything else? Let me see. Anything else I can tell you guys about the solar return? You always want to look at the planets in the solar return chart and see if they are in any of the same sign and degree, close in degree, like within a few degrees at least, of any of your natal planets. You want to see that, because that's also an energy that's locked in. When I read solar return charts, not just for myself, but for other people, you guys, I throw down, I get down. Okay, I get down to the details, to the nitty gritty. I don't just look at the solar return chart. I look at it and I compare it to your natal chart. And also I will look at a progress chart, which is a whole other thing, because all of those themes will go together. Your transits to your natal chart will match up and reiterate themes that are in your solar return chart, as well as in your progress chart, especially your progress moon. Your progressed moon moves the fastest out of any of your progressed planets and placements. So I do take a look at all 3 of those things to see the most major themes in your life. And also check this out. So my MCIC axis, 10 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. Well, actually, I think where I was at was like on my actual birthday. I think it moved a little bit. Um, I think it was like a lesser degree or something. I think it was a lesser degree. But if I were in my home city, I spent this chart can still apply because I spent the year in my home city. So maybe the energy does still apply. We'll see. I'll test that theory out. But if it does apply, check it out. The IC is 10 degrees of Scorpio. Well, my ascendant is 10 degrees of Scorpio, my rising, 10 degrees of Scorpio. The fourth house rules your home. My place of living was so important to me as a person. I felt like I was walking around with the energy of this disgusting, terrible place that I lived in. I felt like I was wearing it on me and that people could see it on me, especially men, and that they were like not really as attracted to me because I didn't live in a beautiful, nice place. It was very like not feminine. Okay. It was like not beautiful, not peaceful, not serene. It was disgusting, the place that I lived in. And nothing that was my fault. You know what I'm saying? It's because neighbors in the area, it was really terrible. But it was a jumpstart place of me getting my life back on track. So I still have to show some gratitude. Even though it was a nasty fucking shithole, I'm not gonna lie. But I felt like I was wearing that on me everywhere I went. It was bothering me like to the core, you guys. Like every day that my place of living sucked so bad. It was super whack, and I felt like that was a represent, like people would take it as a representation of me, and I'm just like, I had to explain when I meet people, like they'd be like, oh, where do you live? And if there were someone that I trusted enough to be honest with, I would tell them, well, I live here, but it's only for right now. It's temporary. It doesn't represent me, da 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 da. Because you know how people think. Like when you tell them where you live, they assume, oh, that's where you're from and where you represent, and like the area. It's a reflection of you and who you are. That's not always the case. Because here I was living my best bourgeois life, going to like, more upscale places. And I got myself a nice new corporate job. And, like I was dressing better and all this stuff. But then I go home to this shitty place and I'm like, this doesn't represent me at all. It's not a reflection of me at all. Plus, maybe it's a good thing I wasn't really dating. And you know what I'm saying? That my love life was like zero, because who's gonna bring somebody home to something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's gonna bring that was not a place to bring somebody home to, an entertain company at all. So I felt like I was wearing that on me, and it was just like, oh, it was terrible. So yeah, but yet the MC 10 degrees of Taurus, that's my natal sun placement, I did feel like I was really focused on 10th house things, which, I'm not going to repeat myself. So there you have it, guys. That was my last solar return. I definitely learned a lot more about self-worth and self-value and boundaries and respect and speaking up if something is wrong, and you know that you don't deserve a certain type of treatment or you deserve better, like speaking up and saying something about it. I really learned a lot more about that. You see, I had Mercury conjoined to Lilith. Look up Lilith in astrology. Look up at Lilith in mythology. She's known as like a vixen energy, but she also is someone who, she's a feminine energy that's very strong and opinionated and isn't afraid to express anything, right? So my Mercury and Lilith together in the 10th of being a boss, that's exactly how I was communicating to people. I wasn't soft about anything. I was like, no, this is not right. I don't deserve this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So definitely also look at the north and south node placements. So yeah, I was super focused on career and my living situation. The south node could be more of a malefic energy. It's not 100% a malefic. I don't want you guys to think it's all bad, but it can play the role of a malefic at times, depending upon where it's at, what it touches, yada, 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 right? So I had a malefic, in my fourth house. for the solar year. And in another version of my solar return, it actually lands in the fifth house, you know? So it was let's see, with dating was whack once again, but children is also fifth house. I wouldn't say I had like bad relationships with my kids or anything like that. Maybe some challenges, some things to redo with being a parent to them. Learning from the past could be the south node. So learning from the past to do with children and also with dating and all the other fifth house stuff. Yeah, that was definitely apparent. So you always want to look at where the north and south nodes are at. The houses are what matters the most in your solar return chart. Now I'm not going to show this year's chart. I will review it next year, but all I'm going to say is this. It's lit up with a lot more feminine, soft energy, and I'm definitely feeling that. Last year was being a boss, right? I didn't need shit from anybody. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a woman and I'm very femme, but I do have a lot of masculine energy too. And I feel like even though earth energy is a feminine element, it's the more masculine of the feminine elements, which are earth and water. So it's stronger, it's sturdy, it rules rocks and mountains and shit. You know what I mean? The earth and everything, like being sturdy. So I was really about that, really about stability. And then also, I had an earth moon in a fire house. Fire energy is masculine. So it was like a sturdy feminine energy, but in a masculine house. So I was not radiating the most femininity. But this year I have a Libra rising. I have a fifth house stellium in Pisces. And then I have a Taurus moon and the sun, of course, in the seventh house. So it's like Leo, Libra, Pisces type of themes. And I think I have the nodes. Where do I have them? I'm a Libra rising. I think they're in the first or second. I don't know. But anyway, so a lot more softer feminine energy that isn't afraid to ask others for assistance, especially male assistants. Like, can you relieve me of these masculine duties so I can relax and be feminine? Not saying I'm going to turn into some lazy broad, because you guys know how I roll. Solar return or not, I'm still rooted in my natal. I'm still a motherfucking hustler. You better ask somebody. Like, I'm still going to be a hard worker. But now I'm trying to find ways to just be more in that feminine energy. And I feel like it's coming naturally. Like I said, I've only been in my solar return as I'm recording this for like 4 days or so. And I already immediately wasn't afraid to, like, guy friends would ask me, so how have you been? Because I ran into some, like around my birthday. And they were like, how have you been? And they're like, how was your birthday? And I wasn't afraid to tell them, like, oh, I was kind of emo and crying, you know what I mean? And I had a headache and I just needed to rest. And like, I wasn't afraid to say that. And I'm like, whoa, like, the natal chart in me, like what I'm rooted in, was like, why are you telling them that? Like, we don't appear weak to anyone. We don't tell people our weaknesses, we should just say, no, it was cool, and keep it at that. But I was just like, oh my God, damsel in distress, I had such a migraine and I just cried. Yeah. So I told my guy friends that just freely, and I'm like, yo, what's wrong with me? But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Let me just chill within this energy. I spent the year being hella strong, building more foundation. But now let me relax and be femme with the Leo, Libra, Pisces of it all. So I'll show you guys that next year. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you would like a solar return chart, drop a comment. This video is going to be up on my channel forever. There's going to be limited times where I'm going to be offering readings. You just have to, I would say inbox me on Instagram would probably be the best way at this time. My life is super chaotic. You see Uranus and Taurus. Well, in my natal chart, I do actually have Mars and the Sun and Venus and Mercury all in Taurus, and Uranus is hitting all of them up. Okay, so my life switches from one day to the next, literally. Sometimes one day I was living somewhere, then the next day I found somewhere else to live that was better, and I had to just up and move. That's how Uranus works. One day I was working doing like one type of work, bam, within a few days I landed a job doing something completely different. And my schedule changes like that. My days are like that. And I just have to roll with it. So I'm just saying that to say I'm not going to be able to be consistent with offering readings if I have periods of peace and solitude and privacy. Then I will let you guys know when that is. And when I can offer things. So if you would like a solar return, just message me on IG and I will let you know if I'm offering them at that time. I will take a really deep dive look into everything. I didn't really dive too deeply into mine, believe it or not, as long as this video is, right? But I will take a deep dive into your solar return chart and your natal chart transits and your progressed chart transits all in one reading. So hit me up if you're interested. Hope you guys learned something about astrology, not just about me, but astrology and solar returns. And I hope you guys all have blessed years. And thanks for listening. All right. Peace.